wild ride for Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency, rebounding this morning a bit, climbing back above $40,000 per coin. It follows a roller coaster ride this week, plummeting as much as 30% yesterday after China intensified its crypto crackdown, a move that could, in fact, bolster China's own digital currency, the digital yuan, which they are working on. Joining me right now is Bitcoin Foundation Chairman Brock Pierce. Brock, it's great to have you today. Thanks so much for being here. I guess I want to get your take first on China's crackdown, Elon Musk's influence on cryptocurrency. I know that the CCP has been working on undermining the U.S. dollar with its own digital yuan. What do you make of China's impact on the cryptocurrency market?
Well, I think it's actually a very good thing for the United States. China historically has had a significant advantage in the areas of cryptocurrency, not just with their Chinese digital yuan as a potential tool to challenge the U.S. dollar's reserve status, but from a Bitcoin mining perspective, and the Chinese people being the beneficiaries of this incredible wealth transfer. Whereas we in the United States have historically been disadvantaged due to regulatory uncertainty, this move made by China, I think, is a big win for the United States.
Okay, because it pretty much extends the legitimacy, I guess. What about Elon Musk? Where does he fit into all of this?
Well, Elon obviously has done extraordinary things, unlike really any other entrepreneur alive, whether it be his Solar City, Mars, Hyperloops. I mean, his imagination and his ability to bring those things to life are unparalleled right now. He's a new and relative newcomer to cryptocurrency. He obviously got very into the Doge or Dog-E or E-Dog coin, and did that in a very big way with Saturday Night Live and otherwise. But then he's had this unusual turnaround. He came out criticizing Bitcoin and its energy consumption, which is very unusual for someone who is so well versed in renewable energy. I mean, there's no way he didn't know that cryptocurrencies are typically mined with renewable energy sources, and it is driving massive investment into renewable energy. So I don't know what to make of it, but Elon is doing some of the biggest things in the world. So I'm pretty confident he'll figure it out.
Brock, what do you think about Bitcoin right now in terms of the pricing? I mean, we were looking at Bitcoin above 65,000 just a few months ago. Now the CEO of ARK, Cathie Wood, who's done incredibly well on Bitcoin, as you know, her innovation fund has been seeing strong returns just until recently. She says Bitcoin is on sale. She's still predicting Bitcoin to go much higher, predicting the cryptocurrency could hit $500,000 longer term. Brock, what do you think?
Well, one of the main lessons in business we've learned is to buy low and to sell high. And in the crypto world, we do say buy the dip. And so China has created an international sale on Bitcoin, and you may want to take advantage of that.
Brock, tell me about the Bitcoin Foundation.
The Bitcoin Foundation was the first philanthropic organization set up by many of the earliest participants in the industry. It's where Gavin Andresen held the keys that were handed down by Satoshi, Bitcoin's anonymous creator. And it was through that organization all the early development and continuation of the work was conducted. We eventually handed those keys off to MIT's Media Lab through this process of continual decentralization, not wanting any organization to have too much control over this system. And so the Bitcoin Foundation has played a very important role in advocacy, evangelism, and core development on behalf of the industry, and it's been around. It's the oldest org.
Are there reasons to believe Bitcoin is going to be that digital currency that resonates longer term? I mean, Brock, it's pretty clear that we are going digital. We're transacting in a digital way right now, whether it's, PayPal or Venmo or other transactions, but how does Bitcoin develop further? And is this the currency you believe will be the transaction currency for the longer term digital experience?
I can't say whether or not it will be the transactional currency because the technology has not yet delivered on that, call it potential. But what Bitcoin has done is it's carved out its place in the world, basically as a digital gold, as an electronic store of value. And as of right now, there is nothing that basically competes with that. And so do I think Bitcoin as digital gold is here to stay? Absolutely. Where does the price go? Either to zero or $1 million or more. It's a binary outcome. And as of right now, I'm pretty confident it's the better of the two outcomes, unless something else comes along that out Bitcoin's Bitcoin, that does what Bitcoin does substantially better than Bitcoin does right now. I'm long Bitcoin, and I never encourage anyone to invest in anything. I only encourage you to invest in yourselves, but go out and buy 10 or $20 worth just to find out what this is all about.
Yeah, all right, Brock, we'll be watching. What a wild ride. Good to see you this morning. Brock Pierce joining us from the Bitcoin Foundation.